Welcome one and all to the History of Hatz, a Ronin Yeti Designs time-lapse montage. Basically, I put together all the different phases of Hatz together into one video so I could kind of explain the history or a synopsis of the history of the entire planet. So, let's begin, shall we? First off, this is the first phase. All the planets within the Legends of Savior series, named Pending, they're all created through what's called a singularity birth. And what that is exactly is it's just these planets literally form out of nothing. They just appear, and that's basically how the entire galaxies and the entire universes happened within the Stark Five perspectives. So yeah, as soon as the planet Hatz was singularity birthed, it became a planet full of valleys and fields, and as you can see, mountains everywhere. And considering this planet is within the wind soul system, the wind self-survival soul system, I could get that much later. That means there's going to be a lot of wind going on. So what I wanted to do is have like wind currents and jetting through and in between the ravines of these mountains. And with that, and as you'll be able to see it actually eventually. With that being said, the wind currents would actually start kind of encircling the mountains and eventually lead to the peaks of them, which would cause them to shred off the ice on the peaks, which would give the planet a rarity of a type of snowing at certain points. But anyway, moving on. The fields and valleys are full of fields of what I call right now, let's see, Pime. That's what those golden stalks are called, and that's hemp backwards. And basically, these golden stalks can be used for anything: housing, clothing, energy, fuel, medicine, whatever. And also, there are kind of giant, almost gelatinous-like lakes on the surface of the planet. There are, rare ecosystems inside of there. But it seems like the video is moving on to the second phase now. As you can see, now we're starting to destroy everything, putting holes in the mountains, shearing off the tops. In actuality, the alpha race of the planet, the only sentient kind of humanoid race, half of them decided to shear off the tops of their mountains to be able to kind of control the planet more, kind of show dominance over the lower dredges, which their species is the dredges. The high dredges are the ones doing this to the mountains. The low dredges are the ones that actually live in the valleys below. But the high dredges wanted to control, basically, and they felt like they were superior because they stayed within their mountains. Which all dredges, before they evolved into the alpha species, they were all kind of worm-like creatures that lived inside the mountain ranges. And then half of them finally decided to leave their mountain range homes, while the others stayed there. And as you can see, started creating kind of concave cities within the tops of these mountains, which actually kind of simulate the peaks of mountain themselves, which you'll actually see here very soon with this one. I can tell you a little bit more about the high dredges. The high dredges, well, about both of them. The high dredges were more, they were kind of xenophobic, even to each other. Very vain, very proud, whereas the low dredges were more like hippies. They lived off hemp. They lived on the land, they were just here and there. So, not necessarily nomadic, but kind of certain groups, and I guess you could say splinter cells. I wouldn't say that, even though I just did. They kind of live in different areas, like around the different lakes and such. But after a while, as you can see right here, the high dredges... I'm sorry. Every planet gets infested with mortality. I can explain that later in a different video. But when the dredges were hit with mortality, and actually... the high dredges believed they were being cursed for what they had done, for destroying their mountains. So what they did is they created a device that basically that was supposed to kill all the low dredges off. But what it did was it instead there's kitty cam. They instead destroyed the plants and flora and fauna on the planet. So there you go. That's why that big red circle is there. But now here, the third phase, which I'll try to make fast, is basically the retaliation of the low dredges to the high dredges. Eventually, and I won't say why, but the low dredges band together and create a device that can literally destroy and implode a certain type of atomic compound or material, and they pick the type of rock that makes up they're mountains. And when they set off the device, it didn't just destroy the mountains as much as made them literally disappear. When with that, a crust and a layer of the planet disappeared as well. And so as you can see here, now they're left with no mountains. Now, and also there's an under ocean they found out, which helps them a lot. And yeah, so I could go so much more into that, but thank you for watching, everybody, and stay tuned for some more history of with the different planets. And thank you for watching.